Hello everyone, how are you doing? This is the part 7 of the inventory tutorial series that I'm doing in this channel, and in this part we're going to start creating this slots container widget. So in the last episode we created the slot widget, and now we're going to create the slots container, so the container that will hold all the slots in the screen. But before, if you do like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe so you don't lose any new content, and that helps me a lot. And without further ado, let's start. Okay, so let's start creating the slots container widget. So for that, let's go to the widgets folder, inventory, and here let's create a new widget. So right click, go to user interface, widget blueprint, and here select user widget. So I will name this WB slots container like this. Let's open this and start the design. So first let's get a size box. So this one, let's add this size box, and to see the actual size of this, let's change this option here from fill screen to desired on screen. And now let's change the size of this size box. So for this, I will actually change the minimum desired width and minimum desired height. So let's enable this, and for the width I will put 800, and for the height 400, like this. So we have this size here. So now let's search for a border. So just type border here like this. Let's add this border in the size box. There you go. And this border will basically be the background for the slots container. So I will change the name here to container background like this. And of course, if you have an image for this, you can change this image by going here in brush, just select the border, go here to brush and change the image here. Just expand this brush settings and change the image here. But for this, I will just change the brush color. So here in the brush color, I will make this a little bit more dark like this. There you go. So now let's add a scroll box on this. So basically a scroll box will allow us to scroll within the container. So even if we have more items that we can fit on this size, this scroll box will allow us to scroll down within this container. So let's search for scroll box here like this. Let's add this scroll box in the container background like this. So for the scroll box, I will leave the settings as default. Just make sure that the horizontal alignment and vertical alignment are set to fill. So this last option here, and there we go. So now let's add the actual container for the slots. So for this, I will actually use a wrap box. So just search for wrap box here. Let's add this wrap box here in the scroll box like this. And as I mentioned, this wrap box will be the container for the slots, the actual container. So we will create each slot as a child of this wrap box here. So let's change the name of this to slots container like this. And for this, of course, we need to fill the entire size here. So select the wrap box here and change the size to fill like this. And we need to change other settings here. But first, let's add some slots here so we can test this. So to add the slots, you just need to go here to palette and user created, just expand this. And here we have all the widgets that we created. So we have the WB inventory slot here. So let's just add this on the wrap box. Let's add a lot of slots here so we can test. Of course, we will do this through code later in the series, but for now, let's just add some slots here so we can see the settings. And there we go. As you can see, this wrap box will automatically rearrange the slots to fit this size here in a grid way. So as you can see, when we reach the end of the row here, this wrap box will put the next slot on the other row, as you can see. So now we can select the wrap box here and change some things here in the content layout. So we can change the horizontal alignment, so I will change this to middle, so the wrap box will put all the slots in the middle like this, as you can see. And for the padding here, I will add some padding on this, so I will put maybe 10 on here and 10 here as well, so X and Y. And this will add some space between these slots, as you can see. So if I put more here, so you can see we have more space, but let's put less here, so maybe 10. There you go. And of course you can change the orientation here as well, so but I will leave as horizontal because that's what we need. But of course let's delete these slots here, because we will do this through code when we need this. So let's delete this, and there we go. Let's compile and save, and basically this is the design for the slots container. So now let's create the code. Actually, before going to the code, we need to make this slots container a variable. So just select the slots container here, that is a wrap box. So just select this and mark as a variable. So check this is variable option here, so we can do things with this through the code. So now let's compile and save, and now let's create the logic for this. Okay, so let's jump into the graph editor here, and first we need to add a new variable. So as you can see, we have the slots container as a variable here because we mark this slot container as a variable. So again, make sure to check this is variable option here. So let's go to the graph. We have here the variable, so let's add another one. So let's click on this plus icon here, and I need a variable to know from which inventory this slot container is. So let's create this variable here. So inventory will be the name of this, and of course the type will be BPC inventory, so the component that we created for the inventory. So let's get an object reference for this. Let's compile and save, and again I will set this variable when we created the player inventory UI, so the player inventory widget. We will set this variable through the player inventory widget that I think I will create it in the next video. So when we reach this point of the code, this inventory here will be valid. So this inventory will have a reference, but for now we only need this variable here in this slots container. So let's start creating the logic. The logic for this will be really simple. We just need one custom event. So let's delete all these events here. So just select them all and delete, and right click and type custom event like this. Let's add a custom event, and I will name this draw slots. So this event will be responsible for drawing the slots with the informations that we need for the items. So first what I need to do is get a reference to this inventory. So let's get a reference here, and you can get a reference by holding Ctrl and dragging the variable like this, and you can set the reference by holding Alt on the keyboard and dragging the variable. As you can see, we have a set node. So let's get a reference to this. And of course, just to make sure, let's convert this get here to a validated get. So right click on the variable and go to convert to validated get like this. Let's connect the execution pin here. And now that we know that this reference is valid, the first thing that I need to do is clear all the slots that we have in this slots container. So when we are in runtime, so when we are in the game, this slot container will have all the slots for the inventory. So when we need to draw again or update the slots, first I need to get rid of these slots here. So I need to clean all the slots that this slots container has. So to do this is really simple. We just need to get a reference to the container that we have here, because we mark this slots container as a variable. So we just need to get this reference here, and from this we just need to type clear children. There we go. So this function here, we just need to connect this on the is valid pin here. Let's connect this, and there we go. The first thing that we need to do is clear all the parents, all the children actually, sorry, all the children. So now that we clear this, we can create new ones. So for this, we will need the content of the inventory. So let's get from the reference of the inventory here. Let's type get content like this. So we have again the array that we need for the content of this inventory, and we need to create a slot widget for each slot that we have in this array here. So let's add a for each loop. So let's drag from this and type for each loop like this. Let's connect here after we clear all the children. So let's connect here, and here in the loop body, for each slot that we have here, we need to create the slot widget that we created in the last episode. So to do this, let's right click and type create widget. There we go. Let's connect here in the loop body like this, and let's select the class here. So let's click on this and type wb inventory slot, so this one. And as you can see, let me just open this slot widget here so we can see. Let's open this. Let's go to the graph. This is the slot that we created in the last episode, so the widget. And as you can see, because we marked the inventory and the slot index as instance editable and expose on spawn, because we check this, if we create the widget with this create widget node, we have these values here, so we can set these values. So when we create the slot widget, we will pass the inventory and the slot index. So basically the slot index is this array index. So we are looping through all the slots that we have in this array. So for each slot we are creating the widget. So this slot index is the current index of the loop. So we just need to connect this array index on this slot index. And of course, if we reach this point of the code, that means that this inventory variable here is valid, so we have the inventory as well. We just need to get this inventory here and connect on this inventory pin here in the create widget node. So there we go. Now we are creating each slot, the slot widget for each slot that we have in the content array. Now we just need to add each slot on the container here, on the slots container, so on the wrap box that we created. To do this is really simple. Again, we just need to get a reference to this. So let's get the reference here, and we just need to type add child. So this node here, the widget panel add child. We just need to connect this after we created the widget, of course, and the content will be this return value of the create widget node. We just need to connect this here, and there we go. This is basically it. So every time that we call this function, this event here, all the children of this container will be clean. So we will delete all the children, also all the slots, and create new ones with the new information. So there we go. This is basically it. Now let's select everything here, and let's comment by pressing C on the keyboard, and I will add here just drawing the slots like this. So there we go. Now let's compile and save, and this is basically it. Okay, so that's basically it for this video. I'm trying to create each widget in a separated video so I can explain to you what each widget will do like alone. And of course, I think it's better for you to understand the communication between the widgets. So in the last episode, we created the inventory slot widget. So this one, we created this widget in the last episode, and the logic to draw the icon and the amount of items that we have in the widget, in the inventory actually. And now in this episode, we created the slots container that will hold all the slots widgets that we have in the inventory. So as you can see, here is the communication. So for each slot that we have in the array, we are creating the slot widget that we created in the last episode, and we are connecting the inventory and the slot index here. So I just think that this is better for you to understand the communication, because this will have a lot of widgets, a lot of different widgets. So I'm creating each widget in a different video. So in the next video, I will create the player inventory widget that of course will have the slots container in the player inventory widget. So we will do more communications, and of course we will create more widgets until we reach the screen with all the information that we need. So I'm doing like this because I think it's better to understand. If you guys have some feedbacks on this, of course you can leave a comment and I'll try to answer you. But this is basically it for this video. So if you do like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe so you don't lose any new content. And as always, thank you for watching, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next video.